Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing the Volvo XC90 Recharge. Before we get into this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and a hybrid system. Total system output is 455 horsepower and then 523 pound-feet of torque. Now the MPGe rating is 58. The MPG rating without any sort of hybrid assist whatsoever is 27, and you can get 33 miles on a single charge. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see flat there in the center, and then it kind of falls off on the other side, and I do like that little line that goes through there. It looks interesting. Now, we of course have the Thor's Hammer LED daytime running light and then LED lights in general, and then lots of chrome trim here all on the front end. And putting it all together, I've always been a fan of Volvo's front end styling, especially here on the XC90. Now, coming around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275 40 21 in the front and over in the rear. And then you guys can see here with the wheels, you've got the silver on the top, and then it's kind of darker in the center portion. I think the wheel design looks good overall. Fender flares are body painted. You can see that continues along the side with a chrome strip with, of course, our Recharge badge on it. And then there's more chrome around the window trim. And then here's your full side view with the XC90. Now, taking a look at the key fob, we got our Volvo logo there front and center, and then you guys can see lock and unlock here, and then the opening for the hatch. Now, taking a look at the cargo area here in the XC90, you can see with the third row folded down, it's actually super spacious. Now, another cool feature is this right here. This lets you raise or lower the rear end, so it makes accessing this cargo area a little bit easier. And then you guys can see the charging cable underneath, obviously to charge this up, so you can get that 33 miles of electric driving range. And then we've got our 12 volt here in the back as well. And then the last thing I want to mention here in the back, you guys can see the back passengers get some vent action and also have some cup holders. Now, I'm not going to pop in the third row. I've been in the third row of many a XC90 over the years. I would reserve the third row for kids. It's cramped for an adult. And then when you're all done, just press that button right there, and that will lower the hatch right back down. You can also do the cool foot thing where you put your foot underneath to lower it as well. We, of course, have Volvo's taillights, which look kind of like a bow. And then you guys can see here with the rest of the badges on the back, and then we have the parking sensors at the bottom. And putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the looks here on the XC90. Now, popping inside, you guys can see soft touch here at the top. We also have some sunshade action. Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which I actually really like. And then we have some like wool composite trim here. It's very interesting. You guys can see more soft touch down below, and then even the handle has a really nice look. And that's, I think it's technically like a wool blend, not composite. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, that's also on the seats. I've never seen this before. I've been reviewing Volvos for years. I don't know if this is like a newer option, but these seats are actually really comfortable. And then legroom back here is solid. We also have a little storage pocket. We have our own climate zone here in the rear with heated seats. We've got vents as well. And then headroom back here. It's good. Now, taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see soft touch here, and then look at the wood trim down below. We got our memory seats, again, more speakers for the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. Blind spot mirroring with the mirrors, and then again, more of that wool trim, and then you can see the padding down below. All of our window controls, which I like the finish on them, and then your mirror adjustments as well. And then taking a look at the seats themselves, again, you can see with the wool here, got your power adjustments just down below, and then you got that to open up the hatch, and then your gas cap release. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel, nice trim all around, and then you have practical controls here on the front. You guys can see we also have our cruise control, adaptive cruise control, pretty good system with the steering assist, and then your regular stocks here on the back. And then here is the gauge cluster. You guys can see full digital gauge cluster here. You can press the button on the steering wheel to pull up the map view as well with it. And then notice it'll show us our battery range, which, yeah, I used up all of it. And then our gas range as well. Now, this does have a 360 camera system, so the back camera's on right now, but you can press this and you can change the view, which is kind of a cool little part of the camera system. And then aside from that, as for the rest of the infotainment system itself, response time is really good. It's easy to use. With these wool seats, you sadly don't get AC function, but you do get heated seat function. And then just like other Recharge models, if you pop into the driving tab, you've got all the different drive modes. I just have it in hybrid mode for most of the time, then obviously auto with the battery usage. This will get you the best fuel economy. Soft touch here on the dash, and then you guys can see the heads-up display. I always think that's kind of funny. But yeah, this trim continues all along down below as well. Then you have some wood trim here at the bottom. And then you guys can see here with the glove box, you're probably wondering, like, how do you open it? Well, there's a button down here. So yeah, a little bit different with that. And so yeah, you've got that button, and then you got some more analog buttons in that area as well. And then you have what I call Volvo's pointless tab here, because like you basically can't store anything right there. This one of course has a crystal shifter. You got a little twisty for the engine stop start. And then you guys can see here with their parking brake, and then your auto hold, and then you have this which you can use to cover up and the trim on that. And the center console's got pretty good storage space in it. And then last but not least, we got a little slider here for the panoramic sunroof. Okay, so this is an XC90 Recharge all-wheel drive Ultimate, so we've got quite a bit. Now this is interesting, so you guys can see here, tailored wool blend seating surfaces, ventilated seats not available. So normally the Ultimate comes with ventilated seats, but because this has the wool seats, you lose the ventilated function. So you do concede something for these seats. But anyways, after all options, this one stickers for $85,495. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and let us set off. So, setting off in the XC90 Recharge. I've been living with this for the last week, and I actually really like this. It's a good vehicle. So, kind of talk about the things I like, and then I'll also talk about the things that I don't exactly like. So in terms of things I like, I really like these wool blend seats. I don't like the fact that there's not the AC seat function. It's a little bit of a miss, but they're so comfortable. These seats, like, it's hard to explain, but like best cloth seats ever in a car that I've experienced. So they did a really good job with the seats. And then another thing that I like is actually the power. Pretty dang quick. Now, just like most plug-in hybrids, there's a little bit of a disconnect, and so it doesn't necessarily feel like the most, like as much horsepower as it has on paper all the time. But overall, it does a pretty solid job. There's a good example of a car that has about the same amount of horsepower as this, Grand Cherokee SRT, but that feels like way faster than this. So yeah, sometimes there's a little bit of disconnect with the power, but the power is good overall. And you know, this thing's pretty dang efficient. Obviously you get the most out of it if you plug it in and you know, obviously have it charged up all the time. Then you're not gonna be using up nearly as much gas. That's kind of the whole plug-in hybrid thing. And we'll pop it into the power mode here, so you guys can see it lowers the suspension. And I will say the air suspension makes this so comfortable. Like, yeah, it's pretty quick. But yeah, the air suspension really does make this very comfortable. So it does an amazing job as a luxury car. It's really efficient, again, especially if you charge it. And I like the fact that I can do, in the B mode, one pedal drive. I wish more plug-in hybrids had that. I think that it definitely, I mean, it makes it so you can get more out of the plug-in hybrid experience. But on top of that, like, it just, I don't know, it makes the driving experience, at least in my personal opinion. So overall, I think this is a great luxury car. Now, I think the thing that some people kind of confuse this with is performance cars, because yes, it does have quite a bit of horsepower and quite a bit of torque. That is not what this is about. Yes, it has a power mode as well, but again, this is about luxury, comfort, and it's just about like being comfortable as you're on your commute. That's the best way to look at the XC90. So I wouldn't look at this as like a performance hybrid. Look at this as a hybrid luxury car that happens to not be slow. Like, it's actually quick. That's a good way to look at it. And I think it's one of the best like daily driver cars out there. And I would, you know, me personally, like if I was in the market for this type of luxury SUV, I'd get this over a lot of the competition. Just simply based on the fact that it feels like it feels high quality. It looks good on the outside. And the driving experience is just, they've done a really good job with putting it all together. Let me know your thoughts on the XC90 Recharge, but I still think this is my favorite plug-in hybrid on the market.